Hello, today I want to talk about going paperless. Yes, paperless. So the first time I went to Germany, I had one big folder of papers. Now I have a few crates of documents, of papers, and sometimes I need to search these papers. What people do today, they make a picture, they send it to the cloud. Right, but our channel is about self-hosting. We don't trust clouds here. I don't like big clouds making their own models based on my documents. I don't want my documents to be leaked. Please let me know in the comments below which kind of system or what kind of service you use to process and store your own documents, and please hit like and subscribe button. So what I did, I found this project called Paperless, which allows to scan, document, recognize and search documents. And it's really neat project I'm using for last 2 months, and it's really good, and it's already helping me in my adventures. So let's start, and I will show you how it works, how to install it, and why it is great for self-hosting purposes. So, paperless. Paperless community-supported open-source document management system that transforms your physical documents into searchable online archives so you can keep, well, less paper. Makes sense? This is the interface. Don't worry, we're going to take a look at the demo later. And it has lots of features. But basically, as any document management system, it organizes and indexes your scanned documents and performs OCR, and it uses Tesseract for this. I already tested on German, Russian and English, of course, and it works quite well, even on documents which mixes different languages. So documents are saved in PDF-A format, which makes sense because it uses less storage. And so basically we have original and PDF-A format, and it supports multiple documents, right? It supports Office documents, PowerPoint and more. Basically it supports everything that can be a document. And this is beautiful modern web application. I would argue this is actually very beautiful. I already looked at it, already using it like for 2 months, but it's tolerable and it's quite usable. There is a few quirks that I would change, but overall it's quite great. Of course, there is a full text search, and full text search works very well. Email processing, I use it for my bills that are coming from email, and this is very good feature to have email connector for your document management system, because usually you get today documents via email. There is robust multi-user permission system, but this is basically coming from Django. If you're using it for yourself, you don't really need this robust multi-user permission model unless you're using it for Soho applications, but I doubt you use it. You will use it in this scenario. There is some workflow system. I wouldn't say this is like powerful, but you can create some workflows, and you will need to create workflows for email processing. That makes sense. Optimized multi-core system, yeah, that that's why, for example, this is using Celery for multiprocessing of multiple documents. It's basically running different workers of Celery inside. So paperless, actually, it's not just paperless, it's Paperless-ngx. So it's third incarnation of original paperless project. And after this original paperless project, there was Paperless-ng, and now there is Paperless-ngx. So it's quite a long of history of this project. And this is quite feature rich for individual usage, as I can see. So this, I even tried to use it on mobile, and yes, it looks quite good. Yeah, so there is a mobile optimization for the application, but there is also mobile application. For some reason it's not even mentioned on this page, but there is a really good mobile application. Unfortunately, in my scenario it wouldn't work because I'm using a very specific authentication system, and mobile application is not ready for that. So let's try maybe to install it, as today it's very common to use Docker, and in this case there is also Docker. Okay, where is installation, configuration? Maybe it's in administration. Oh, so probably it's in setup, right? So let's go to setup, and we have multiple options. Use the easy install Docker script, put the image from Docker Hub, and build the Docker image yourself. So let's just use easy install Docker script. And as we can see, all we need is just Docker and Docker Compose. And they suggest just to use this script, right? So before you do that, any of this on internet, I suggest to first download the script and take a look what it does. We can do it like this, and we can see it's not actually trying to remove all your machine or do something wrong. It's basically just juggling around Docker, Docker Compose, and some environment variables. So let's try to set it up. I already created a folder for this. Okay. So it will start by asking URL, but we can change URL later. We'll use localhost, or let's just use 127.0.0.1. Right, this port, current time zone. And I really like this feature of paperless, that it provides you different database backends. So it provides choice between Postgres, SQLite, and MariaDB. And I really prefer to choose SQLite for self-hosting, because you don't really need to have powerful database system for self-hosting purposes. If you're using it alone, you don't need multi-user, multi-log system. All you need is very simple database that is very low maintenance. And SQLite is very low maintenance, and it's very high performant actually, compared to Postgres and MariaDB on low power machines like Raspberry, or even just low power servers, because all you need is just a file, and all queries are gonna go through just a memory, and there will be less memory churn, less CPU churn. So let's try to use this one. And of course, we will enable Apache Tika to support Office documents. And now this is configuration for Tesseract. And for Tesseract, all we need to do and just provide is like by default is just eng. In my case, it will be German. Let's keep it like that. And this is user ID that will be configured for running process. If you're gonna use it outside of the Docker container, if you want to provide some documents outside Docker container, there will be a folder from which Paperless can consume documents. So it's important to keep this IDs in sync. Yeah, so this is basically target folder where it's going to be installed. Yeah, so this is all correct. Yeah, so in this case, let's say it should be minbash with password minbash. Okay, minbash at localhost. It doesn't really matter. We're not gonna use send emails here. Okay, so it's just downloading Docker Compose and downloading Apache Tika, and downloading Paperless web server and Gutenberg, which is basically PDF management system. It uses Redis inside, which makes sense. So welcome to Paperless. Here you can upload documents. Here just click browse files and upload it. Soon they will be processed and added to documents, recognized and indexed. Let's go to documents, and here we have all the documents that you have in your system. You can just hover over them and go inside. It also tries to recognize date when it was created. Of course, in this case, it's not recognize its very old document, and it has really interesting feature like document type. You can set document types here in document type, and then it might try to suggest document type based on content, right? And also you can create your own text. So for example, you can set this is confidential and save it. Okay, so I don't have much performance yet on my notebook. I'm recording, so sorry for the performance issues. So for example, this is much simpler PDF, and we can see content here. And for example, we can try to search for it, laser. Or for example, you want to know all your documents about Sidewinder missile. And tada, you have all information, all documents about your Sidewinder missile. So for example, this Wikipedia article or this classified, the confidential declassified document about Sidewinder missile. So you see, in this case, date created was properly extracted, 1983, and it suggests it's recognized as United States patent, but it actually is not patent. I think this is more, and it suggested handbook, right? So let's change it to handbook. And we can see also content here, and it's all searchable, which is awesome. So for example, someone like German authority asking you for Anmeldung, and you can just search for your Anmeldung here. Of course, it's not my Anmeldung in just a form in this case. Right, so let's check what else do we have here. We have correspondence. This is exactly like from where the comment come from, but I'm not really using that system. And also you can apply text. I just played a little bit and said like confidential, declassified, missile, document types. So in this case, I just said so. I uploaded a lot of patterns here, but it seems how it works. It's not automatically sets the document type. Instead, it suggests it. Maybe there is some configuration I missed that will practically just apply that instead of just suggesting it. This is why I would prefer to have, instead of going and searching myself for that. Yeah, so in this case, this is US patent, right? And suggestion is absolutely right. And in this case, also United States patent. So it uses machine learning to recognize this document types, which is really, really good. But it took some time actually to pick up these types. So it also has this storage path. I don't really understand why we need them. You can also add some custom fields and add them to the documents. I don't really need this feature. There is workflows. You can create some triggers and make some actions based on the triggers. And basically, there is not much triggers. There is only when document was added or consumed, and then you can assign owners, assign titles. It's not very useful for my test. What is very useful here is this mail. This is basically mail connector. What you can do, you can just add your email account here, and then you need to add a rule. There is lots of fields here, but all you need is just to select the account. You configured here set maximum age, because unless you haven't set it, it will just process all the documents you have, and you probably don't want that. And then all you need is just to click save. And then when worker will start, that will, all your documents from the mail folder, all your bills will go to the documents folder here. There is also a little bit of configuration. So for example, I set Manco as a logo and application title as a Manco. You can set your own or just ignore this. There's also user and group system, but you probably won't even need that. There is some settings, right? But I would suggest not to touch it, and maybe just touch date format, but you can change it at any point of time. In permissions, if you are using user group system, You probably will need it notification. It's just about notification from the web, and you can save some views from the document search, and you can manage them. So it's very simple, very well-defined system. I really like that. It's not blown out of the proportion by the features, and it's quite good. Thank you very much. That was all. Please let me know if you like that content or not, and have a great day. Ciao.